Alright guys, so we're going to be going through a bunch of new leaks for Modern Warfare here. We have some multiplayer leaks, some stuff with Blackout, Spec Ops, really all different parts of the game have been leaked. I want to go through some updates. Today's interview with Game Informer, with Joel from Infinity Ward, did verify a bunch of the leaks, and he did give us some teasers as to what we're going to be seeing very soon, and he obviously indirectly verified what we have been talking about from these Gaming Revolution leaks since a couple of months ago, and you know, now we have a better idea of what we're actually seeing within the game, such as the main thing here, the MW3 specialist streaks returning, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Also, I made a video talking about Infinity Ward actually pretty much confirming MW2 Remastered. If you want to check that video out, that's in the top of the description below, probably up on screen, so that'd be pretty cool if you can check that out. And yeah, let's get started with this video here. So I want to go through a bunch of the Game Revolution's leaks as well. First, now here's something about a perk within the game called Bounty Hunter. So he says, for those that missed it from before the MP reveal, the perk Bounty Hunter has been fully removed from the game. Now that's very important, because if you guys don't know what this perk was, this was the perk that let you steal a person's kills towards their kill streak when you kill them. So if someone was on a 5 kill streak that have a bounty on their head that was visible within the game that pretty much said 5, we weren't so sure how big it was, but it definitely would have been annoying for everyone to know that you're on this kill streak and you're pretty much a huge target. Someone could kill you from behind, and then if they kill you, they get those 5 kills towards their kill streak. And a lot of people didn't really like that, and I didn't really think it was the best idea, so they probably saw that feedback. Either the playtesters thought it was a bad idea, or they saw the leaks and they saw people reacting to it negatively, and they were just like, let's just remove it from the game. So a lot of these leaks, these multiplayer leaks that have been out in the public, I think Infinity Ward is using them to their advantage by really seeing the public reception to these leaks and wondering, okay, you know what, people like this feature, let's keep it in the game. People like this new feature, that new feature, let's change it, do this, do that. So the leaks honestly have done a good thing for this game, especially with them developing it and trying to make the best possible multiplayer. So let's go through a bunch of other confirmed information here. Now, this is something that is very interesting. Infinity Ward art director says we'll have to wait and see in regards to a Battle Royale mode in Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Will there be a Battle Royale mode in this game?
We'll have to wait and see.
Would you like there to be a Battle Royale mode in this game?
I personally like that game mode.
You sound so scared.
Now, this is something, again, we have been talking about. Battle Royale has been leaked to be within the game. A different developer will be doing it, not Infinity Ward necessarily, but they have not confirmed it. And Infinity Ward said they're not working on it, and they don't have plans to work on it, but that doesn't mean another studio isn't working on it. Obviously, Raven Software is doing that, and obviously, Joel has the information. Infinity Ward, they know that a Battle Royale is being developed, and when he gets asked that question, he knows that a Battle Royale is being developed for the game, but he just can't say, obviously, so it gets awkward. You guys know what happens. That pretty much confirms that Battle Royale will be within the game. Now, the leaks have been saying that it's most likely going to be released after launch, so I guess that's a good thing, and as long as Infinity Ward is focusing on the main game, who really cares? But a Battle Royale is going to be coming to the game, at least most likely, unless it gets scrapped for some reason. Most likely it's going to be within the game. So next thing here with Spec Ops. Spec Ops in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a continuation of the campaign, will be supported post-launch. Now, we sort of already know this. We just got some more confirmation from this interview, but we really know that they're going to be putting a lot of effort into Spec Ops, and they're going to be treating it like another game mode that's really continuously supported throughout the year. Now, the key factor for me for Spec Ops replayability, I guess you want to call it, is what they're adding. So it depends on if the DLC updates are, let's say, every month. So every month you get a new multiplayer map or two, a new Spec Ops mission. Are you getting a new survival mode map? Are you getting, you know, a new sort of thing for the Spec Ops, one of those secret game modes, those co-op game modes that we don't know about? Are you getting a new map for that? Like, what are they adding? So it could be supported, but it could be sort of barely supported. I want them to fully support it and actually provide good content throughout the year. Unless, you know, if they don't, then it's just not really going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth our time. It's not going to be worth our space. Now, even though it's all free DLC, it's a bit scary because when you think about it, they're not making any money off of it. So what is their real incentive? Now, if you think Infinity Ward has a good heart, which I do think they do, and I think they actually want to make a good game, and I think that they actually want the DLC to be free to really bring everyone together, but when you don't have that profit motive, there isn't as much reason to actually make these maps perfect and to actually provide tons and tons of DLC. So I think a lot of people's worries is that even though we're seeing this free DLC, we might see less of a quality DLC season, or maybe just overall less DLC. Which, you know, makes sense, which would suck, but it sort of makes sense. So hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully we actually get some good DLC, especially for Spec Ops. Now let's talk about the kill streaks. Here, well, actually, I guess the specialist streaks. So Modern Warfare will feature a perk to turn kill streaks into score streaks. Specialist perk streaks will also be available. So a lot of different stuff here to talk about. Now this stuff has already been leaked. We heard the Gamer Revolution talk about specialist streaks and different stuff like that. Let's go through what one of the game developers said over at Infinity Ward. So someone asked him, wait, will you have to run a perk, actually use a perk slot to run specialist streaks? And he said nope. The specialist system is an extra option in the perk menu. This option unlocks during player progression. When running a loadout with specialists, your kill streaks are overridden with 3 extra selected perks. Now, obviously, from what we know here, it's going to work very similar to MW3 specialist streaks, and it's pretty much the same thing that we see. It's not going to take up a perk slot. It's just another tab, but it's within the actual perk selection menu, and it's not in the kill streak menu. So obviously, back in MW3, you had the kill streaks, specialist streaks, and then the support streaks. It's just not in that format, but it pretty much is the same way you see it within MW3. You get that bonus, and then you most likely get all of the perks. If not, you get a huge amount of perks from within the game. Now, this game isn't really that focused on perks anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Most of the actual, I guess, perks or the advantages you're going to have within the game will be within the gunsmith, and obviously they're putting a huge amount of effort in all the different attachments. So the specialist streaks may not be as important in this game as it was in MW3, but it's still a very cool feature. And then that perk that you can use, which takes your perk slot, but it turns it into score streaks. So if you just want score streaks and you're not really down with specialists, specialists or just normal kill streaks, you do have that option as well. So that's pretty cool to see. So next thing here is actually about supply drops, a pretty big deal for this game and for, I guess, all Call of Duty games moving forward. So breaking, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have agreed to a new initiative where publishers have to disclose the odds of earning items from loot boxes for all games published on their system going forward. So that's insanely huge. The Entertainment Software Association also said many large video game publishers will be disclosing these odds themselves going forward, but they didn't say which companies. We've reached out to the ESA for more info. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be insane. Now, obviously, you could do math. You could try to figure out what are the odds of getting this weapon, what are the odds of getting that weapon. But if you have to actually show it, if Call of Duty Black Ops 4, you hop in and you're opening up a supply drop, and one of these new DLC weapons is in those reserves, and it's one of those weird, and I really don't know. I'm not going to lie. I have no clue how Black Ops 4 works. I barely touched that game. I just know anytime they add a new weapon, everyone's complaining on Twitter, everyone's freaking out, it's stuck in the reserves, it takes forever to get them, at that point, it's literally pay to win. You cannot get that weapon any other way other than actually buying supply drops and getting a chance at getting the new DLC weapon, which is just completely insane. And actually seeing the odds for that is probably going to be unreal, because some of the odds for getting these different sort of legendary outfits and legendary weapons are ridiculous. And if you do the math, it would probably take so much money to actually get those legendary weapons. And the fact that these game companies are going to have to publicly display that information now, that's just unreal. So this could mean one of two things. For one, it could make Activision a bit scared to actually, put this type of stuff within the game, because now that they're forced to display the odds, it's really going to show how much of a scam it is to actually try to get these weapons, and then people are going to be like, you know what, there's a 1 in 1,000 odd chance I'll be getting this weapon. I'm not going to waste my money, and then that'll cause for less revenue. So if that's the case, maybe Activision will be forced, and other companies will be forced to actually focus less on putting these items within the supply drops. Now, they could still make money, and obviously I know they want to make money, and obviously people say they have enough money, but they're going to want to make money through microtransactions. That's just the way it is. So maybe they'll find fairer ways to actually create revenue that's not sort of spinning your luck at a supply drop and trying to get a weapon with the 1 in 1,000 odds. Maybe they'll just make it so a DLC weapon drops and it's just $3 and you pay $3 and then that's that. I don't know. However they want to make their money, as long as it's fair, that's good. And this looks like the fact that they have to display the odds, they're gonna want to make sure the odds are either really good or that they're not going to be there at all, and they'll just be a straight up transaction that you buy, which again isn't as bad. So we'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, I'll see you guys later.